Okay, so I'm joined by Charlie and Otto from Crashface. So first of all, guys, thanks so much for chatting to me today. First of all, how are you on this fine Saturday morning?
Yeah, all good, man. Yeah, just been like having a weekend of it, really. Just like nice to actually have Charlie back down.
Yeah, we're hanging out. Obviously, we have Bubble come out in the week,
Yeah,
so we're just prepping everything now for the EP that's coming out. We're really excited about.
Cool. Now, obviously, the EP, it's out on, I think, the 13th of this month, so it's actually coming up. I have had the pleasure of listening to it. I think there's sort of two new tracks in conjunction with three tracks that have sort of been released as singles. Is there a particular song that you guys personally like off this EP? You know, you're the one that you're just like, this is my favorite, or are they all kind of like, there's something
I mean,
special about all of them?
I think like the last track on the EP, like Surrender Lesson for me is it's just a really fun song. Like there's so much sort of to it, and I think it's like one of the most interesting ones we have, like structurally. And it's relatively ambitious, I think. Bit of a leap for us, you know.
I keep bouncing back and forth. I'm so indecisive on this kind of shit. But yeah, it's between Atrocity and Surrender Lessons. I think it might be just in part because like I'm kind of sick of hearing the singles because they've like I just I like keeping it fresh, if you will. So yeah, I love the sort of balls to the wall nature of Atrocity. Now it's just like sharp to the point, and there's so much like electronical influence in it. It's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And then yeah, Surrender Lessons, like Otto said, it kind of takes us to the other end of our spectrum. It's like very post-hardcore, very emo, quite theatric. So I feel like the start and the end of the EP, it pretty much captures everything that we can do.
See, my favorite is actually Bubblegum, but I don't know why this one just keeps coming back to me.
Good.
And it's possibly because it's just got that really catchy vibe to it that I don't know, I gravitate to quite a lot. I try to like to think, you know, for me personally, I'm very much I like the stuff that not everyone likes, but that's a lie.
Yeah.
If it's really catchy, I really dig it. So that's possibly my top one.
But it's like asking for a favorite child, isn't it? You know, like realistically, I think they all rule. But you put me on the spot, Damian.
Sorry about that, guys. Now, for Maniac, you actually worked with Sam Matlock from Wargasm. So this is sort of a two-part question. How did this collaboration first come about? And also, what was it actually like working with him?
Yeah. Well, we've actually been pretty good mates with Sam for
like years
and years. Like yeah, but before Wargasm was a thing. And when I had the initial idea for Crashface, I did a writing session with him at his place, and he actually helped me write the first Crashface song, Systematic. So we were always friends, and we got to write together then. But with the just how quick like Wargasm just like went from like 0 to 100. Like he was always just so busy, and we were always talking about like getting back in a room, doing more writing, but we just could never get around to it. But when was it? Was it last August?
Yeah, no, he came over to like, 'cause we used to live together in East London. So Sam came over for an afternoon, just took a listen through a couple ideas we had, and then immediately just fell in love with that sort of opening synth line. Just thought it was very, very cool.
Sounded like a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's awesome, man. He's the dude's really prolific now with helping bands like us and like new artists in the scene. You know, you can see like the smoke coming out of his ears when he starts listening to an idea. Like you can see the gears turning, and he's just like, I love how almost like unorganized and chaotic like the session was with him.
Yeah.
Because we were just jumping, like we're very sort of like structured when we do our sort of writing recording sessions. We do like bit by bit. But Sam was like, oh, let's plug this in and let's do this. Oh, let's jump back to this vocal line. Oh, maybe we could put that here. And
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Then when we were doing that whole like middle section bit, you know, we're chatting about, you know, sort of having, you know, slightly more interesting drums or whatever. He's like, no brain, just mush.
Yeah.
Very funny.
To be fair, I mean, I think he hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm super happy with how the track ended up coming out.
Yeah, no, it's really fun. And then, like, obviously the video as well was so much fun. Yeah, no, it was just an all-round sick experience, you know?
So obviously you have collaborated with Sam Matlock, but if you could collaborate with anyone, absolutely anyone from the musical world, and this, I always caveat this with dead or even alive, anything like that, who would you love to actually work with?
Right, hold the phone. I got this.
Okay.
Trent Reznor.
Trent Reznor.
Could have told you that.
Yeah.
I think we're actually just gonna keep giving the same answers for this fucking question. Yeah, for me it's Phoebe Bridgers. I would adore that. Because I love sad shit.
That's weird. You're so positive and happy right now. So, but
oh, dude, yeah. Well, you know, you gotta let the demons out somehow.
True.
Face wash.
It's really good.
It's great face wash.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Cures facial fuel.
There you go. See, take care of your skin.
I hope you're getting some PR or some payment for that little bit of.
You'll sponsor us, you know.
Now, Maniac as well as Chainsaw, as I understand it, sort of relates to some of your frustrations that you have with, was it the modern world and sometimes specifically the music industry in general. Could you perhaps elaborate on some of those frustrations? Because it's something I do hear quite a lot, especially from smaller, more independent bands.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that sort of you know, at the higher level of it do have a lot of frustrations in the music industry as well. They're just not really allowed to say. But yeah, basically, we were working with a few people, and things didn't necessarily go how we wanted them to. And you know, you had deals put on the table and stuff that just would have pretty much ended in like the demise of Crashface. You know, it would have just run the project itself into the ground. So we decided like not to sign these things, and then yeah, basically these people just called one another up and like yeah, just put us on the back pedal, you know. So it's just one of those things that happens, you know. It wasn't out of any like malice or any, you know, disappointment or anything like that. It was all just kind of one day we were doing these things, and then the next day it's like, oh yeah, no, like bye-bye sort of thing.
I suppose the other side of it as well is kind of where I was coming from more with it, is just how much you're expected to do now just as an artist, when, you know, the vast majority of people that do this and get into this line of work or whatever do it because like it's a love for the music and they love to create and they want to put out music, and that's like the long, you know, that's the end of it really. Like I'm, you know, I love songwriting and I love creating songs. So, you know, I love listening to music, and to now for like all these labels and all these, you know, companies or whatever, it's like their threshold for even looking at an artist or even considering working with an artist. It's like, oh, how's your TikTok doing? It just fucking irks me, man. Like it's like I understand it, but like I understand how attractive it is and how you can maybe use it as a metric to you know, quantify growth. But it's just like so many people in this scene didn't get into this for that, and it's just expecting us to do so much shit now that we don't want to do. It really sucks the joy out of it.
So you don't want to be an influencer, you just want to fucking make music. You know what I mean? But that's something that you're passionate about.
And I've always said, you know, like coming into music and starting like, you know, a project like this and everything, it's like it was always a very naive impression, I guess, that I thought the music would just be able to do all the talking. But unfortunately, there are so many different things now in play that you have to consider. So it's just, yeah, it's just a bit of a rant, a bit of like just an overall frustration with how it's not really, you know, if you want to try and play the game, it's not really just about the music anymore, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, like Maniac kind of like call us crazy, but like, you know, it's not the way we want to do things, you know.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Like, it's interesting you say all of that. I learned last year that there was a terminology within the music industry known as getting stuck in the matrix. And I found out this essentially meant that, you could get signed, your dreams could come true, but then all of a sudden, you could record this album, this, that, and the other, and then the record label just wouldn't release it, but also wouldn't release you from your contract. So essentially killed your band. And that to me, that sort of thing, it shocked and baffled me because I was simply there going, well, even if you make 50 quid from this artist, you've still made money. So it's a bit of a weird one for me, and it's always sort of irked me, I guess. So yeah, just hearing it from you guys as well sort of confirms that a little bit in a,
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just about, choosing who you really want to like go into business with. It's the same as anything. It's like you wouldn't buy a house from a really shitty estate agent, or I guess in this economy you wouldn't buy a house, But like, yeah, it's all just a bit mental at the minute.
Don't get us wrong, we fucking love what we do.
Oh yeah.
But as with everything, there are ups and downs.
Yeah, of course. Now you're actually about to head out on a very short tour very soon, and I think it's only about was it 4 or 5 dates?
Oh, yeah. 4 days.
And they're quite big cities that you're heading to. You got London, Manchester, is it Birmingham and Sheffield? Yeah. Is there a particular place that you absolutely love going to out of those 4 cities? Particularly to play, or just because of the environment, like the feel of the area?
It's got to be Birmingham.
Yeah, but Birmingham, we always like anytime we play shows there, it's always like a really good crowd. People are really receptive and just like really up for getting involved.
And people talk shit on Birmingham, dude. I like it. I think it's quite cool.
Like good vibes.
I think it's quite cool. And yeah, like Otto said, yeah, the crowds always show up. Like it's always pretty rowdy in Birmingham. So I'd probably say that. Yeah.
Yeah, Manchester as well, always fun. Always very fun.
Yeah, I think Birmingham's got a lot to live up to and maintain. I mean, it's the birthplace of like metal. Let's be 100% honest. But I don't know. I've not heard anyone talk shit about Birmingham, if I'm honest. But then I'm from this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from this crappy little town. Yeah, I'm from this crappy little town called Croydon. So all I ever hear is Croydon's a shithole. So.
Well, no, Croydon is.
Oh, I know. I live here. So now, if you could go anywhere on a world tour, play any city or any country, what would be like the number one you'd love to go to? Where would you love to play?
I'd love to do a 6-week tour in Japan and have 2 shows. That's it. Like the rest of the time, play exploring and days off.
I don't know if that's a tour.
No, I have 20 dates in Japan. I think would be pretty cool.
Japan would rock. Fuck, that's a good question. I really want to go to Mexico, South America. Yeah, I think is a bit more my speed. I've never been, so yeah, let's go.
So I love what you said about 2 dates on a 6-week tour. Like that sounds more like you're just trying to circumvent the working visa rule or something. Yeah, but I like it.
Hey, it's a holiday on the label's expense,
Exactly. So once the EP's out, once touring's done, have you got any sort of plans for the future? Because one of the things that I've noted, not recently, but definitely in the last few years, as music has changed and how we consume it for me, like I'm in my 40s, it was always like, when's the album coming out? When's this? But it doesn't seem as important to get an album out there as much as it used to. Do you think albums are important in the grand scheme of things anymore?
I mean, I absolutely adore listening to an album front to back, as it's kind of designed, especially when it's, we were literally chatting about this last night, when it's more than sort of 10 tracks or whatever. And it feels like, there are some interludes and slightly more interesting things. But because it's like not marketable on TikTok, labels don't really want to do it. And it's like people's attention spans, putting playlists on shuffle. It's not like actually just making listening to music the activity anymore.
It's also a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I like you said, with the releases that we do have, and we were talking about sort of the range of stuff that we try and cover in our music because of what we like to write. If we were to actually, want to do the debut album. It's, you know, you only get to do that once, and we wouldn't want to cut any corners. And I feel like what we'd come up with pretty grand and you know, pretty theatrical. So yeah, you're talking about a lot of fucking money to put into it in the first place. So that's a massive hurdle as well. But you know, yeah, we think about it all the time. You know, it's sort of like a holy grail of being an artist is that debut album. Like so many people are like you make or you break on that debut album, because like it's just like your first sort of stamp in the sand.
Yeah.
So 100% one is coming. When? Fuck knows, dude. I'll be so honest.
I mean, we've been working with a couple good friends of ours recently, so I'm sure that'll all be announced soonish. I don't know.
Yeah. For the rest of the year, yeah, we got a few more live shows coming up.
Yeah,
and a couple more collaborations in the works as well.
Because like working with other people who just love the same thing is so much fun, and like quite often you just come up with stuff that you would like never even thought of before. Like it's wild. It's so much fun.
Now, I think it was yourself also that I spoke to about a year ago at Download Festival. So, Charlie, I actually want to ask you a question I asked Otto. What do you prefer? Do you prefer like the grandiose festival stage or these nitty gritty little venues? What is your personal favorite?
I'm such a bitch. I'm probably just going to go with the festival stage. Dude, no, like, you know, I love it all, and it doesn't really matter, honestly, like what the venue is. It's all about like the reception from the crowd, you know. You could give me a packed out fucking basement room with a crowd that are up for it, or you could give me a massive festival stage and people don't really give a shit. Obviously, I'm going to choose the basement room. So it's more down to what the crowd are saying, if they're actually there for you, and if they're getting involved. But I mean, you know, if we're going on percentage, you know, we've definitely played a lot more shitty basement shows than we have festival shows. So,
yeah.
But yeah, with the experience, I just like space. I like being able to move around.
Yeah.
I like being able to utilize a bunch of shit.
I like my pedal board not being trod on.
Yeah. So, you know, from practical standpoints, yeah, I'm going to go festival stage.
Cool. So, final question for you guys. Have you got any sort of like really memorable experiences from a gig? Something like funny happened or unexpected, something that sort of like has stuck with you from a show or even just a tour in general?
I mean, there are a couple of ways you could take this. It's like, what's the most traumatic show you've ever had, or what's
Okay, I like that one. That's what I'm going with.
So we did a run with the Cruel Knives last year. This year. Fucking hell. Yeah, this year. And basically we got to the Camden Assembly. It's like, you know, we played that venue before, very much like very fun. And everything was like fine during sound check. And then suddenly, as soon as I go to like, you know, just play the opening note, just through the monitor, and like it's just my bass wiring was screwed. So the entire show, the sound engineer just went and just turned me all the way down.
Oh no. That
was that was a pretty memorable one. So I mean, I just started jumping around and doing like some crazy Tony shit, you know. It was quite fun.
Improvising.
Yeah,
it's the sort of thing where you're like, don't look at me, and you're doing everything to get everyone to look at you almost.
Oh, literally. I mean, this is the thing. It's like I can't dance the best of times, but you know, like my one move is like a headbang, and that's it. So I basically just did that anyway. But yeah, then like the really memorable stuff. Wall of Death when we did Frank Carter.
That was cool.
That was wicked.
That was cool. Yep.
There's a video and it's just my friend's voice. It's just going, fuck yeah! So funny.
I don't know. Yeah, fuck. On the not so good side, I think it was the same tour. I think it was the Cruel Knives run we did Cardiff, and it was like in the middle of the tour. And I'm from South Wales originally, so whenever we get to play in Wales, like yeah, it's always a bit special. And for some reason, it was like middle of the tour, and I was just kind of wiped. Like I was not expecting it to be a good show. I wasn't expecting people to show up. So like I already went into it with like a pretty bad mindset, and then it gets to us coming down from the green room and we go on stage and the room's actually fucking packed.
Yeah.
But like I'd already baked myself just into like, oh, this is gonna suck, and I just couldn't shift out of it. So like, you know, it wasn't the best show for me personally, but
I had great fun at that show. I have no idea what you're on about.
yeah, I mean, the first time we played Great Escape actually.
Oh, that was wild.
In Volks. We played at like,
climbed up on top of the speaker. Like,
yeah, we played at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and it was in this metal club sort of right on the seafront in Brighton, and it was our first time at that festival. And I think it was when we did Heavy Infectious, right? So it was 2021, and we had no idea how many people were gonna show up. You know, we'd heard things about the festival, like, you know, obviously being industry based, sometimes, you know, you're playing to no one, you know, it all really depends on what's going on. But yeah, we got to the venue to set up, and yeah, it was literally fucking packed wall to wall. Like, you know, people could hardly get in.
Yeah,
like it was an absolute sweat fest. I wasn't expecting it at all. So that one ruled.
I think it was like before the first chorus, I was like just dripping.
Yeah,
Like,
that one.
It's that lack of air conditioning that can really make it, I think, is the way of putting it.
Beefy drum and bass sound system. That's the one. That's the
Amazing.
one.
Well, I want to thank you guys so much for chatting to us today. Good luck with the tour. I am going to try and make it over for the London show, because at Download, I really wanted to catch you guys, but because of reasons such as this, it was not on the cards, unfortunately. So I hope to see you in London. If not, I will do my very best to actually catch you guys live as soon as I can. But good luck with the EP launch. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Good luck with the.
I was going to say, sorry we couldn't make it down in person today.
Yeah,
it's fine.
We were really excited for it because was it Raven Records? That place looks so sick. So we were really
no, it's great.
But it's literally just trains that they're all just fucked.
Southwestern Rail, baby.
Sort your shit out.
Literally. Fucking renationalize the railway. God damn.
To be fair, that record store, I discovered it recently as well. It is absolutely fantastic. And because I don't drink, their bar is, they've called it an alcohol-free bar, and they've got...
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and I was just like, and my partner was just like, how about we rent this out for your next birthday? And I was like, conceptually, love it.
Yeah.
But everyone I know will just sneak out and go to the local pub so they can get pissed. But, you know, thought was there.
We'll do that for the next one.
Absolutely.
Cool. Amazing. Thanks so much, guys. As I said, good luck with the EP. Good luck with the tour. I hope to see you there. But if not, then very soon, I hope. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.
See ya.
Cheers, pal.